Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling has a new ally in Russian President Vladimir Putin. Interesting. So now, in a recent speech, Putin invoked cancel culture. He said this, quote, "They canceled Joanne Rowling recently, the children's author. Her books are published all over the world just because she didn't satisfy the demands of gender rights," he said during a recent televised speech. "They are now trying to cancel our country. I'm talking about the progressive discrimination of everything to do with Russia." Oh, wait. Okay, so cancel culture, we're trying to cancel an entire country of Russia. Look, I've said before, some of the people have their hearts in the right place, by saying, okay, we're gonna, we're gonna pour out Russian vodka or do this and that, not buy this and that. Your heart's in the right place, but that's not gonna have any effect on Putin. But I get it. And by the way, if you don't want to buy Russian-made things, you shouldn't buy Russian-made things. That's fair. But here's the thing. This is not cancel culture. The whole thing's crazy. But what's funny is he says they're trying to cancel Russia when in reality, that's what Putin's doing to Ukraine. They're literally trying to cancel the entire country of Ukraine. In fact, here's what he said on this in a recent speech about Ukraine. Quote, "Ukraine actually never had stable traditions of real statehood." So, Ukraine's not a real country. They should belong to Russia, and that's why we should invade it. I'm sorry, doing military operation. Well, if that's not cancel culture, I don't know what it is. So now, of course, he goes on to make some ridiculous comparisons here to him being treated like the Nazis would treat them. Quote, "We remember the footage when they were burning books." Yeah, you know what? There is footage of burning books. Guess who's burning them? Conservatives. Conservatives are burning the books. Those are the people, however, you are reaching out to with this whole talk of cancel culture. He said, "It is impossible to imagine such a thing in our country, and we are insured against this thanks to our culture. And it's inseparable for us from our motherland, from Russia, where there is no place for ethnic intolerance, where for centuries representatives from dozens of ethnic groups have been living together." Yes, Putin, noted opponent of cancel culture, except of course when he canceled his political opponent, or several political opponents, or when he ordered the imprisonment of the band Pussy Riot. Remember them? March 3rd, 2012. Two of the group's members, Nadezhda, I have such a hard time with Russian names, Tola Konakova and Maria Alyakina were arrested and charged with hooliganism for having a concert in a church. A third member, Yekaterina Stemetsevich, was arrested on March 16th. The three members were convicted of hooliganism motivated by religious hatred and were sentenced to 2 years of prison. That sounds like cancel culture. The group's lyrical themes include feminism, LGBT rights, opposition to Russian President Putin and his policies, and Putin's link to the leadership of the Russian Orthodox Church. Who, by the way, the leader of the Russian Orthodox Church had put out a sermon saying that the reason that they were invading Ukraine was because gay parades. Yeah, it sounds like cancel culture to me. But cancel culture against the left. against left-wingers, people fighting for LGBT rights. Now, here's the thing, right? J.K. Rowling is a transphobe, so she's not exactly in favor of trans rights. She despises trans people. She gets along with Putin in that regard. So now I'm trying to figure out, what are you doing? What is Putin doing? Why is he coming out and saying these things? And then it hits me, right? He's trying to appeal to the right wing in this country. He's using their same language. He's saying, hey, conservatives, I hate the same people you hate. I also do not like cancel culture. I hate the wokeists. No, really. Now, again, I think he's reaching out to conservatives here on culture war issues because, well, I mean, culture war issues, it's something that the right identifies with a lot. Now, the thing is, he's going to have a very hard, long, tough climb on that one because a lot of Republicans are surprisingly on the side of Ukrainians. According to a recent Pew Research poll, an overwhelming majority of the public, 85%, including similar shares of Republicans, 85%, and Democrats, 88%, favor maintaining strict economic sanctions on the Russian economy. About 6 in 10 Americans, 63%, strongly favor stricter sanctions of their economy. Most Americans, however, they say, would oppose the U.S. taking military action, even if it risks a nuclear conflict with Russia. And so that's good. I also oppose taking military action. That's why I'm against a no-fly zone. A no-fly zone would mean direct conflict with Russia. It's not some magical shield that deflects planes. No, it means getting into a direct and a possibly eventual nuclear conflict with Russia, which would be bad for everyone. But I do understand why Zelensky and Ukrainians are asking for one, but that is something we cannot do. That is something we cannot give, right? Now, what is still terrifying, though, is that you have a third of Americans say that they would favor military action, even knowing that this could end up in a nuclear conflict. Comparable shares in both parties, 36% of Republicans, 35% of Democrats, say that they favor military action even if it risks a nuclear conflict, while 7 in 10 Americans, 69%, favor admitting thousands of Ukrainian refugees into the United States, including majorities of those in both parties. Democrats are substantially more likely than Republicans to say this, 80% versus 57%. So honestly, the American people, even Republicans, the people that you're trying to, appeal to, are not in favor of you. And so I don't know what Putin's trying to do by saying, hey, that J.K. Rowling, no, she was right, cancel culture, and then they're trying to cancel me, so you shouldn't do that. Yeah, bad, very bad. But look, it's very obvious, it's very clear that the Russians are losing the propaganda war to the Ukrainians. And so Putin definitely miscalculated. I think he's pretty desperate. I think this is not turning out the way that he hoped that it would. And so on that, by the way, J.K. Rowling had responded to this. Here's what she said. Critiques of Western cancel culture are possibly not best made by those currently slaughtering civilians for the crime of resistance, or who jail and poison their critics, she wrote on Twitter. Oh, it hurts. You know why? Because, well, heartbreaking. The worst person in the world just made a great point. Broken clocks, right? J.K. Rowling, not my favorite person. In fact, terrible person. But in this case, she's right. Yikes.